Just quieten down, baby.
Per capita export value.
Libraries.
Minister, are you embarrassed by your behavior today?
There's a lot of bleeding hearts around.
Do you have the fortitude or the gonads to stand up and come across here and say that to me, you son of a bitch?
Just watch me.
He certainly went too far, Mr. Speaker, when I saw him stick his tongue out.
Contemptuous disregard.
More than a slab of bacon talking here.
The disappointment you also feel is my responsibility.
I lost my temper. What is the nature of your thoughts?
The word was F-A-R-T.
Welcome to another tantalizing episode of Canadian Politics is Boring. My name is Jesse Harley, and with me is the incredibly slippery Rhys Waters. Rhys, welcome to another terrifying, tantalizing, exciting, tumultuous episode where it's all ASMR all the time.
Apart from the politics and the comedy.
Rhys, do your famous ASMR bit. Okay, that's fucking... You're ruining it as you
sorry,
do.
I've just got a very moist mouth. So hi,
how you got your wife.
Welcome to Canadian Politics is Boring. My name's Rhys Waters.
I don't really like him that much, but boy, does he have a moist mouth.
It's like a dog having a wet nose. It means they're healthy. So this is the show for people who hate politics but care about bigger stuff. Jesse, you've got to loosen it if you want to turn it.
I'm trying. How do I...
No, see the dial there? That's it.
Which?
This
style,
one.
side?
This, look. This.
Okay.
Jesse's just destroying some very important equipment. Sorry, the bigger ring. This ring here, see? Just break the microphone stand.
The microphone, yeah.
Oh, they're only the expensive ones for the studio. You just do what you want, Jesse. Anyway, I've got some exciting news.
Okay, I'm excited.
We had some gifts in the mail.
Okay,
and you can see them on the desk. They're amazing.
They are amazing.
We had a letter from Anna and Uma. So they sent us some homemade slippers.
I love. It blows my mind that people send us so much homemade stuff. We don't even ask for it, like the sycophants that we are. Is that a right word? Sycophant for that? I don't even know. It just sounded impressive, so I thought I'd throw it out there.
Loudmouthed pricks.
Is that right? But like people just send us stuff. We don't deserve this stuff.
These are amazing. So thank you. She wrote a lovely handwritten letter. Thanks so much for being interested in trying out my Oma's slippers. I hope you both love them as much as I do. And they help you through the brutal East Coast winter. Although Jesse is a half size larger. Oh, that's just admin about our foot size because we exchanged emails. You two will have to duel it out over who gets which pair, preferably not to the death for the sake of the podcast. She doesn't want us to fight to the death over these slippers.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. For those who are interested, the slippers can be found at etsy.com/shop/Oma's Crafts Canada. That's OMAS Crafts Canada.
So Oma is the nickname for her grandmother.
Yeah.
And her grandmother, what's the story behind that again? Her grandmother.
This is what her grandmother does. She knits these and she's helping her grandmother sell them online.
They're very cozy looking.
And it's like a traditional Dutch thing.
Oh, cool.
They're amazing. Do you want? So we've got two pairs here.
Let me check out the blue ones there.
You want the blue ones?
Let me take a look. Wow. I remember when she had emailed us about this, and I had requested that she knit your face onto my slippers and my face onto your slippers.
That doesn't fit within the traditional Dutch knitting style. So
putting our faces on there. Yeah, exactly.
They do look really. These are going to be my slippers for the office, I think. When I'm in,
you wear slippers at the yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I can take my winter boots off then and put these wonderful things. Anyway,
they're so cozy looking.
I think it's wonderful that you are supporting your grandmother and helping her build her online presence. Your Oma.
So so you know what? Pause the podcast and go take a look at these delightful slippers. Dear listener, where's the shop again, Rhys?
The shop is
Oma's shop.
Etsy.com/shop/Oma's Crafts Canada. So, and you should try them, and they're wonderful. I'm gonna put on my foot.
Just one on one foot.
I'm gonna try one.
All right.
Oh no, it's so good. I'm gonna try the other one. Oh, that's good. Oh,
I have boots that are laced up, so I'll do it later. But it does.
I feel like I can skate on the wood flooring as well. It's great.
Hold on, Max. Can I see you try it?
Not only are my feet
No,
warm.
get up from the chair. I want to see you skate around the office here. He's trying. He's like, let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's sliding around. Look at that. He's actually doing it.
So you not only have you warmed my feet, you have also saved me time and energy because I can just slide through the office now.
Rhys, you missed an opportunity. Not only have you warmed my feet, but you've warmed our hearts. Come on.
Yeah.
I should fucking write for Hallmark.
And tell your Uma she's awesome and she should keep knitting. And I hope she takes the internet by storm in a good way.
Look how much love we give you when you give us free shit, dear listener.
Yeah. So if you want to send us free stuff and have you say nice things about you, carry on. We won't.
We won't stop.
We're going to stop you anyway. I'm keeping these on. They're great. Should we? I think that covers small talk. That's slipper talk.
That's slipper talk. All right.
Yeah. Do you want to know what this eposode's about?
I'm dying to know, Rhys.
I've called it Poilievre's Secret Shelf Signals.
Oh, fucking love talking about Poilievre. insane man.
So this is just I keep getting, because I look at political content, the algorithm keeps giving me his videos, and I feel like he puts a new video out every day, sometimes like 3 or 4 videos, and he's constantly producing online video because everybody knows that it's a really good strategy.
Right.
Online video is a really good promotional tool and it hacks the algorithm. And he is consistently bumping out video, but it is definitely quantity and not quality.
Content is king, man.
You can't make 4 videos like in a week about what he does and what he talks about and the people he meets with and expect it to be great. So this video literally came out yesterday and I watched it and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Okay.
Who conceived, okayed, and worked on this and then released it going, this is a great idea.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
All right.
So it was November the 16th this year. And when
the video came out?
Yeah, the attached text was, young people want to take back control of their lives. They want to own a home, keep more of their hard-earned money, and move up in the world. That was the tagline underneath. I'm going to play it.
I'll agree with that. That's pretty,
it's not untrue, but
right, yeah.
I'm going to show you the video.
Oh, dear Lord. Oh, God. It's Poilievre on one side and then like
a young person.
A young in quotes. So like a guy wearing like a plaid sweater, a plaid hoodie, and a brush cut with a Movember like fucking mustache going on. This is the young guy. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to play it.
All right.
But it's insane. Like, this was not the Canada that you and I grew up in. We were kids. Everyone knew that if you got a decent job, you could have a house. And you can't take control of your life if you don't have a home. You can't build up credit history, collateral, savings for your eventual retirement in the form of home equity. And of course, you can't raise kids in your parents' basement or in a 500 square foot apartment. So people see in me the opportunity, because I'm going to knock down the gatekeepers and allow more home building, stop the money printing that has inflated housing prices, the opportunity that one day home ownership will be possible for them again, and that sense of that taking back control of their lives has inspired a lot of young people to join my campaign.
That is it. That's all it is.
That's the whole video.
That's the whole video.
Hold on. You didn't start it in the middle?
No, that is the video.
So the kid didn't say a fucking word.
He is talking at... He's literally
could have been a delivery man.
He's in his office talking at somebody who looks a bit young.
Yeah, could have been a guy dropping off some packages. Like, hey, come in and be this video. I'll give you $50.
If you didn't know any context, it would look like a principal lecturing a student at a high school in his office.
It does.
Because he just found some crack cocaine in his sandwich box. And he's just going, hey guys, just drugs are bad. You know, that kind of thing. He's like, hey, I represent young people. Watch me talk at a young person in my office. So
essentially what it is.
And also the other thing, he's a very low energy elevator pitch. Because he's and that's where I'm going to take back control. It's almost like he's bored of his own talking points.
So I got to say, I'm not, I'll preface this by saying, and I'm sure the shock and surprise on your face in the moment will be astounding, but I am not an economist. That I know, right? Yeah.
No, but you're the kind of person who's interested in.
No, I'm just saying I'm not an economist, but, and then I have a little spiel to say after that about the
economy. It's like when people say I'm not a doctor, but
I'm pretty sure he can't just will the housing crisis away because he wants it to. Like it's not just a housing crisis as much. The housing crisis is separate. It's the market for real estate has a thing. It's just, it has a life cycle. Okay. It inflates and it inflates and it inflates and then it explodes and then it starts again and it inflates and it inflates and it inflates and then it explodes.
Yeah. I've been caught when the bubble popped in 2008.
I almost got caught. I had a bunch of money to invest. I was going to invest it in real estate. I didn't understand real estate. So I was jogging and I was listening to real estate podcast and I was learning all about it. And then I hurt my knee and I stopped jogging. And because I stopped jogging, I stopped listening to the podcast. And because I stopped listening to the podcast, I didn't invest. And then the crash happened. And I'm kind of glad for it because I would have been in debt for...
I love how that changed the trajectory of your life.
I have a bum knee now that has lasted me for decades, but I didn't get fucked by the real estate. Anyway, the whole idea is like, unless there are regulations put on like caps in our economy in general saying like, you can't make more than this, it's just going to keep going. He can't wish, like, what is it? In order for young people to be able to afford houses in today's market, he has to somehow magically bring the prices of all houses down or magically make everyone have like $100,000 salary every year. What the he can't just say how's going to be. What he did say is I'm going to make he said something to the along the lines of, I'm going to build more houses. That doesn't fix a fucking thing.
No, because they're probably going to be market value.
Nobody's going to be able to afford those houses.
Market value
exactly,
houses.
Right? Yeah. You lucky kid. You know what? Yeah. You can't grow, you can't honestly build towards retirement. You can't raise a family without a house. I'm going to build more houses. Good luck owning them. Good luck fucking affording them, but I'm going to build them and I'm going to make them think that it was a good idea and you should vote for me.
But what he says in that video, I wasn't really listening to, because apart from the bit where he said to that person, not the Canada we grew up in, and then points at that person, even though he's clearly younger than him and they brought him in to be a young person, he's going, like we grew up in. I'm like, he's like 15 years younger than you, Pierre. Why did you bring this token young person in and then pretend you're the same age? He's like, no, I'm still cool. But also there was I don't know if you noticed the digital camera movement they put in. They were like, this is fucking boring. Let's put some really bad digital camera movement in at the end.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they decided to go
weirdly,
and then they decided to go handheld.
Yeah, they're in the middle. Just suddenly there was a third cameraman who got up off of a chair and walked in,
ran towards his face.
Yeah, it was like there was a weird 5-second shot and then back to the digital push and zoom. It was a very, very strangely edited video.
I feel so what I feel like is that there's a bunch of interns that he's got making, or very young inexperienced videographers he's basically getting to make as much video as content. And I think they're learning the craft as they go.
Yeah.
Which is, we were all there. I
feel like we could start an entirely separate podcast based entirely on
analyzing political videos.
No, just Poilievre's.
Just Poilievre videos. No. But that's the thing. Like, I thought that video in itself, it's not like you don't watch it and you don't fall off your chair. Like, it's not the most standout thing. It's just a great example of how shitty a lot of the video is he puts out.
Yeah,
and how it's the same messages over and over and over again. He's like, quick, get a young person in here. We'll just knock out a video. That's what I get the impression of it is. And the people who work for him, like, yeah, whatever. Do you know what you're doing? Do you know how to hold a camera? Oh, yeah, roughly.
This is what we've been saying for a long time now. It's all fluff. He's selling the shine. He's not.
Yeah,
there's no
fluff
substance
that burns you versus Trudeau's cuddly fluff.
Yeah, there's no substance to what he's saying. He's selling. He's still even in that video. He doesn't explain how he's going to do anything. He's talking nothing about. Nothing.
He's just saying it again.
He's just saying again. It's all fluff. It's all. He's selling the veneer. He's selling the shine, the oomph, but he's not providing any substance whatsoever in anything I've ever heard him say. Ever. Now, maybe there is stuff out there where he talks in detail about what he's going to do and how he's going to do it, but I haven't heard of it. I haven't heard anyone explain it. I've gone on Twitter and everyone's like, come on, Poilievre, please just give us a list. What are you going to do? Nothing.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to give away his policy plans until closer to the election, Jesse. Don't be so cynical. But none of the stuff that we're discussing was the most interesting thing about that video for me.
Okay. Was
the best thing about the video
was that the young kid didn't say a fucking word?
No, that was brilliant. Like, hey, I understand young people. I'm going to talk. Look at me talk at them. I love that. But the best part is we're in his office, and he has strategically placed objects on the shelves behind.
Oh, I didn't see this.
So that he can signal to you in a very subconscious, subtle way who he is and what he stands for and what he's passionate about and what he thinks is worthy of shelf space in his office.
All right, let me see it again.
And I've gone frame by frame through.
Oh my God, Rhys. Oh God! So it's to make him seem relatable to the youth of today.
Yeah, or to just the electorate in general. So first of all, there's a giant hashtag.
Oh, you've actually like freeze framed and chopped them out and then put them in a document.
I know.
Can you zoom in? Hashtag just inflation.
A sign and also a conservative baseball cap, which isn't a Trump hat. It's blue. So
it's an ugly baseball hat just in general.
Also, the other thing I noticed was unopened craft beer. So you know he's one of the dudes. Just two bottles of craft beer, not in the fridge. Apparently, room temperature is fine for Pierre. You weirdo.
He's never drank a beer before. He doesn't know how it works.
He's not old enough. Apparently. I drink beer with the dudes. Then the other thing is a copy of the Magna Carta.
Okay, and what is the Magna Carta?
So the Magna Carta, or the Magna Carta Libertatum, is commonly known as the Magna Carta, is a royal charter of rights agreed upon by King John of England at Runnymede near Windsor on the 15th of July, 1215. It is a document guaranteeing English political liberties by declaring the sovereign to be subject to the rule of law and documents the liberties of free men. So it says things like providing church, option of choosing like which church you go to, reforms the law, justice, and controls the behavior of royal officials. It's basically one of the first documents in Western civilization that outlines civil liberties.
Okay.
Which is good.
Doesn't sound so bad.
But it's like a super like... It's not something I remember doing it in school, but I was from the UK, and it is like a super niche kind of this is from this point onwards like certain like traditions and things like the judiciary system is based off these ideals,
right?
But is also used on a regular basis today by conspiracy theorists to say that they don't need to follow coronavirus regulations.
What the fuck? So, how? What?
So is used, the most I've ever heard it talked about is in conspiracy circles these days, where they're going, no, I don't have to wear a mask because that's in violation of my Magna Carta rights. If you don't like it, call King John.
Oh my God.
So
okay,
maybe that's not as a reason. Maybe he just wants to show that he's a politics nerd. And he wants people to geek out. But then one of my favorite things, a giant book that says Einstein on the side, so he's fucking smart.
That's hilarious.
I've never read it, but I'm clever because I've got an Einstein book.
Wow.
If he's got an Einstein book, I'm sold. He might not be giving us. The reason he's not giving you detail, Jesse, is because he's so smart you wouldn't understand it.
I wouldn't understand it.
He's got an Einstein book.
Yeah.
A really thick Einstein book. There's a ton of words in there. I bet it's really hard. There's nothing in that. There's no pictures.
It's just a photo book.
There's no pictures.
Just different photos of Einstein's face.
No part of that book pops up. No. So fucking smart. And he's got glasses. So he's smart. Then the other book is, it took me ages to work out. It's really hard to read that one. You can see that the resolution on the video is shite.
It is.
So
what was he even like? Yeah. So nobody watching the video would be able to read that. We can't even read it.
No, I know, but it's done in his order. They obviously rushed this video because the production, no set design happened because you can assume from the production value of the video that it was rushed. So this is just what is in his office. So I'm like, this is a great. He didn't have time to rearrange or anything, maybe. So
what's that?
So this is a book called A Life in Progress by Conrad Black. I don't know if you know who Conrad Black is.
Sounds familiar.
So he's a Canadian-born British former newspaper publisher, businessman, and writer. His full title is Conrad Moffat Black, Baron Black of Cross Harbour. Really down-to-earth, blue-collar guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So he,
I don't know anything about him.
He founded the what's the news? The National Press. What's the Canadian newspaper? I can't think of it. He founded like a newspaper in Canada. He's in publishing and he's a writer. He writes a lot of books.
Cool.
In 2007, he was convicted on 4 counts of fraud in the U.S. District Court in Chicago. And while 2 of the criminal fraud charges were overturned on appeal, a conviction for felony fraud and obstruction of justice was upheld. He was sentenced to 42 months in prison and a fine of $125,000.
Jesus.
In 2018, he wrote a glowing biography of U.S. President Donald Trump. And in 2019, Trump granted him a presidential pardon from jail.
Wow.
Black is a friend of Trump and has written flatteringly about him in opinion articles and in his 2018 book, Donald Trump, a President Like No Other.
Okay.
So he's got a book written
right
by
best friend of Trump.
Best friend of Trump who went to prison and was pardoned in what is arguably a very corrupt way of getting out of jail.
I feel like there's it's just reminding me, like you talking about Trump and the similarities between Trump and Poilievre, which is that, and we've kind of brushed on this before in previous episodes about how you don't have to actually do anything great yourself as long as you're pointing out other people's flaws.
Yes.
You know, and so that's what Trump did. And he did it really, really well, because let's face it, the American political system is heavily broken and it needs a giant rewrite, basically.
Most political systems
do. Yes. And Trump went in guns a-blazing, almost literally.
Swamp.
Yeah. And just pointed it out. It's like, look how broken this is. And he didn't have to actually fucking do anything great. He just had to keep pointing out how broken the system was to get people on board. And then once he had all kinds of people, raving fans on board who agreed, like, yeah, that's right, the system's broken, he could do whatever the fuck he wanted. And he did. And it seems like Poilievre's going down the same road. Is Canada's system perfect? Fuck no, it's not perfect. It needs a rewrite too. They all do, right? And that's all Poilievre's doing. Is like, look at, oh my God, people can't afford houses. Oh, geez, that's probably Trudeau's fault, you know, and so I'm going to build, let's talk, you know what, it'd be a shame. You should have houses. Vote for me. Like, just,
what the fuck?
That's my impression of
you, boy. Like, what do you want? A unicorn made of silk. Yeah, 3. I might give you 3.
And you know why I can give you 3 unicorns made of silk? Because the Canadian system we have right now is broken.
It's almost like a magic 8-ball. He shakes it and it comes up and it just says, talk about inflation. And then he shakes it again and it just comes up, talk about houses. Shakes it up again, affordability.
Poilievre, how are you going to fix the Canadian system? Video over. Yeah.
It's just... but you know when it goes handheld at the end?
Yeah.
This video. That's when I noticed the most amazing, insightful part of the whole thing.
Okay.
Because for a glimpse, you get a glimpse of another book that I think says so much about him. Check. Can you read what that says?
I'm assuming it says Napoleon.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now, why would you present a book about Napoleon in your office?
To be fair, I don't know a lot about Napoleon Bonaparte.
So Napoleon was known. I've got a little bit because I thought that might happen.
Thanks.
So essentially, he's someone who rose from relative obscurity and not from a wealthy family or anything necessarily to end up being a very powerful emperor in France, and was a master strategist on the battlefield, modernized the French military to turn them into big power, seen as like a super smart strategist who completely just changed Europe using the force of will. So the ideal kind of like self-made man, if you know what I mean. Went from being, hey, I'm just a growing up in a village in Corsica. Now I'm the emperor of an empire. So most historians basically say that his remarkable personality was the thing that got him to where he was. He had a strength of ambition to go from like a small village to basically rule over most of Europe. And there's there's a historian called George F.E. Rood, and he stresses that a rare combination of will, intellect, and physical vigor allowed him to achieve those goals. he was not physically imposing. He was only 5'6", but in one-on-one situations, he had like a hypnotic impact on people, seemingly bent the strongest leaders to his will. He understood military technology. He was an innovator using the financial, bureaucratic, and diplomatic resources of France. He could rapidly dictate a series of complex commands to his subordinates, keeping in mind where major units were expected at each future point, and they considered him a chess master who could see how to play the best moves ahead. So you can see why, like, Poilievre, obviously,
right?
He's like, yeah, I'm the master mover. I'm going to move all these pieces around. I can go from relative obscurity as a rich kid in Calgary to
one of the youth,
to the Prime Minister of Canada,
a Ute.
However,
I mean, he is kind of a master manipulator. I'll give him that.
So that's it to me. I'm like, that's his role model is fucking Napoleon. But there's also a dark side of Napoleon.
Okay,
like most historical figures,
right?
So Napoleon maintained strict, efficient work habits, prioritizing what is needed to be done. And he just didn't have any tolerance for people who didn't fall in line, essentially.
Okay.
So before he crowned himself emperor, he basically held a rigged election where voters were not allowed to debate the issues. And if they voted no, he recorded the name and address of the people who didn't want him to be emperor.
Oh wow!
Just for fun.
Yeah.
And also, you got the police. He got the police to suppress any criticism, and he built essentially a combination of a ruthless police state run by rigged elections, and he had a staple of populist dictatorial kind of techniques to maintain control. He oversaw the production of plays in theaters in France, and if he disapproved of the plays, your career was over.
Wow.
And
I didn't know this about him. That's fucking nuts.
He also controlled the press, dropping the numbers of newspapers in Paris from 60 to 4.
This is Napoleon?
Napoleon, yeah.
Holy shit.
So
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Which I love, because all Poilievre talks about is defunding the CBC.
Right. Yeah,
and I'm like, history rhymes.
Right.
So if we use Napoleon's life as what this is what Poilievre's using as his game plan,
right?
Then like it's all there. You could just see it.
We should start calling him Poilievre Bonaparte.
Pierre Bonaparte.
Pierre Bonaparte, right?
Bonaparte.
Yeah, that'd be 2 last names. Yeah.
So anyway, this is just like a 56-second video we were able to extract all this information about him from one shitty video. We put more thought into this video than they did.
They did, yeah. We spent more time talking about it than they did making it.
So yeah, did you enjoy that?
I did, yeah. I like talking about Poilievre because he's the next crazy, but he's not crazy. He's not as crazy. That's the thing. He's not crazy. He's not like...
He drinks room temperature beer, Jesse.
He's frightening. He scares me because he's actually I'm guessing he's highly intelligent and incredibly manipulative and probably a sociopath. And I don't mean that in an insulting way. I mean that in a literal sense. Like he's probably literally a sociopath, and he's just doing this for his own fucking gain. That's it. Like he knows exactly the game he's playing and he's playing it well. And it's terrifying. He doesn't give 2 shits about Canada. He knows the game. And he knows exactly what he needs to do to get votes, to get seats, etc., etc. It's just like,
yeah,
it's terrifying.
I honestly think that drinking room temperature beer is the worst crime you can commit against humanity. And I would like an official letter from him to confirm that they will be put in the fridge before he drinks them.
All right.
That's all. That's the thing that shocked me the most. Forget Napoleon. Forget
hashtag put the beer in the fridge.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll start a new movement.
Yeah, just and I get it.
Hashtag Pierre, put the beer in the fridge.
I get it. Somebody gave you some beer for free. Put it on a shelf so everyone knows you're one of the dudes. It's not all suits and speeches.
All right, we're going to start a movement. Everyone go on Twitter.
Also, can I borrow your Einstein book, Pierre? I've got a table with a short leg.
So that was good.
Thanks, everyone.
Well, what's the call to action for today?
The call to action is, let's get started on that. The call to action is, WFUCAC is coming.
WFUCAC is coming.
You won't have any new normal episodes now until 2023 because WFUCAC is the next episode that will be coming out.
So what is WFUCAC for if there's any new listeners?
The Winter Festival of Unaligned Celebration Advent Calendar. It's basically Christmas, but better.
Way better.
Everybody hates Christmas, a notoriously shit time of the year.
So
we made it better.
3 years ago. Can you believe that? 3 years ago now?
We've aged terribly.
2 years ago.
This is the third annual.
This is the third
WFUCAC.
annual, but it's only been 2 years because it's, that's right.
No, this is 3 years later.
No, the first WFUCAC, and then it was a year later was 2021. And then, oh yeah, that's right.
I love watching you work out how time works.
Hold on. No.
You should write a book. A thick book with Jesse on the side.
It was a year from the first WFUCAC to the second WFUCAC, and it's a year from the second WFUCAC to the third WFUCAC. So it's only been 2 years.
No, I know, but it's the third one.
It's the third one.
Yeah.
He loves watching Jess. He likes watching me work out math. Yeah, that's how time works.
I did notice on one of the shelves there's Jesse's theory of time.
So Rhys invented this holiday called WFUCAC where it's an episode every single day about, and it was originally supposed to be a different, interesting Canadian political tidbit, and he did it, and it was the most insane amount of work he's ever done. And he's like, that's it, I'm done, we're never doing it again. And I knew from our audience response, I'm like, there's no way that our audience is going to let that pass. And everyone, like a year later, they're all looking forward to WFUCAC. When's WFUCAC coming out? We got to do WFUCAC. Oh yay, WFUCAC, we're getting our boiled ham ready. And I'm like, I knew it. We're gonna have to do WFUCAC every fucking year. And here we are. The third WFUCAC. So there's nothing to do with Canada in this WFUCAC because Rhys ran out of ideas. It's all about crazy leaders throughout history. So welcome to the Canadian Political Show, where we don't talk about anything Canadian or political for the next 25 fucking days.
It is political. They were leaders.
Okay, fine. Yeah,
it's true. Just because we did all Christmas like political stories and winter political stories in the first year. I grabbed what I could in the second year, the dregs of WFUCAC.
The dregs of WFUCAC.
And then I thought, well, the third, I want to go best foot forward for the third year. So I was like, well, we need to break free of the shackles of keeping everything about Canada and just have fun.
All right. Well, that's where we go. And it's always a fun time. And there's traditions. There's nightly traditions that come with WFUCAC, such as, there's night where you dress up as a knight in shining armor and hang out. And there's the
face punching Dave.
Face punching Dave comes to
who's basically the WFUCAC Santa.
Essentially,
He doesn't bring you gifts from the North Pole. He punches you in the face while you sleep.
He punches you awake and then he punches you back to sleep. Yeah.
He does, yeah. And then just lots of other fun. There's some nights that Jesse hates and I love.
Oh God,
because of animal cruelty. But
yes,
it's heritage, so it's traditional. So,
and where we hope that you'll join us for 25 days of WFUCAC starting on December 1st. An episode every day. There's some of them are behind a paywall on Patreon. It helps our Patreon grow. Some of them are free.
Every third episode is free.
So
still a lot of episodes.
Yeah, there's a lot of free stuff coming out this December. We'll hope that you join us.
If you do want all 25 episodes, become a patron.
That's right.
And also, we do have some cassettes left.
Yeah.
So you'll become a patron. You'll get all of that, and you will get mailed one of our limited edition cassettes.
Actual physical cassette that you need to go and find a cassette player to play one of our podcast episodes that only exists on this cassette. All digital copies have been deleted, and it's about the insane history of the Hudson's Bay Company. It's a great episode.
Yeah, so that's it.
That's our call to action. That was a long call to action.
I'm going to go home and look at what's on my shelves and see what it says about me.
Okay. Do you have any Einstein books, do you think?
No?
Maybe just get like a whole row of Einstein, but the same book.
Over and over and over again.
Look how smart I am.
Every book on Einstein you can find. So there's like kids' books. There's like... Yeah. Jesus Christ. Did he just go to Indigo?
And just buy this.
And just go, right, what books will make me look smart? I've got a budget of $100. It's so stupid. Anyway.
Yay. I'm looking forward to WFUCAC.
If you want us to forensically analyze more videos in the future, let us know. CanadianPolicsIsBoring@gmail.com. And don't forget, Slippers
from Oma.
Etsy.com/shop/Oma's Crafts Canada, and Oma is OMAS. I've been wearing them this whole time, and I got to say, I'm having a great time.
I can't wait to slip into these bad boys at home, slide around my apartment,
listen to music,
exactly.
Risky business. Bye,
everybody.